Hi, thanks for joining us. Here's how it works. I'm going to play the game through. You're going to pick out the mistakes I make, and then we're going to analyze it after the game and see if what you point out matches up with what I point out. Okay? Let's see what you can do. It was not a real good break. The cue ball came back a little too far up table. It should stop in the center of the table, but it didn't. But I did make the wing ball, and I did get the one ball by the corner pocket. So let's see what I do here. Here's what we have. This is a layout, and as I said, the break was not good. Well, it was not great. It was good, but I got a little bit lucky, and you cannot rely on luck. I have a good shot on the 1, 2, and 3. The 4 ball, which was the wing ball, was pocketed in the bottom left hand corner pocket. So that's always what you want, is to make that wing ball. If you're breaking from the right side of the table, you want to make the wing ball on the right side in the bottom right hand corner pocket. That's a break, and as you can see, the cue ball drew back against the right hand side rail along with the 1 ball. So, like I said, we were fortunate to get a shot on the 1. And this first shot on the 1 is a little bit tricky because the natural angle goes right behind the 7 ball. And if you try to hold it up between the 7 and the 3 and go further down table, you have a very tiny margin of error. And you don't want to go all the way back down table and on the left hand side rail, because then you're going to have a difficult shot on the 2 in order to get back on the 3. So we have to put bottom right on this ball, which is going to both kill the angle off the right hand side rail, and it's going to slow the cue ball down a lot so we don't wind up banging into the 7. And we'll be perfect from there on the 2 ball to get to the 3 ball. So we're taking that natural angle off the right hand side rail, and we're doing this to keep us out of trouble. The 2 ball is also a little bit tricky, and again, we're manipulating the angle, this time not off the rail but off the 2 ball, and we're bending the cue ball to hit the left hand side rail lightly so the cue ball does not get away from us. If we just use a natural angle, the cue ball is going to come too hard off that left hand side rail, and you're going to wind up probably banging into the 3 ball, which you absolutely do not want. And this again is being shot with bottom right. Oh, and the three ball to get on the 5, this is the key shot in the game, and I know damn well if I can get right on the 5, which is straight in to get right on the 6, then I know I've got this game won, and this is why it's called a key shot. The rest of the run out after the 5 is simple. And if you really paid attention from the very start, you can see me pointing to where I want to be on the 5 to shoot the 5 in the bottom right hand corner pocket, and here's the clip right here. So that's where I want to be, and another reason they call it the key shot is because it's the problem within the game. This will be the most difficult shot in this game, and this is the problem that we have to figure out. And this is my solution, and as you can see, once again we are manipulating the path of the cue ball, and we're going off the 3 and arching it with top left English to go 1, 2 rails back up table without hitting the third rail. The best way to shoot this shot is to do it 3 rails and come up short somewhere around the third diamond right there to just kind of drift down table in line and be perfectly straight in on the 5 ball. Hit a stop shot on the 5. You're right there on the 6 to get to the 7, and a beautiful shot on the 8 to be straight in on the 9 ball. And the way to perform that shot would be to put bottom left on it, not top left. And this way, that angle, that arched angle right there, would be straightened out and go further to the right of the top rail to decrease the angle coming off the second rail and going toward the third diamond on the left-hand side rail. As you can see, we cannot do that in this situation because we're going to hit the 7 ball. So frankly, I don't even know why we're talking about. The absolute best way to shoot this shot is to forget about shooting the 5 ball in the bottom right-hand corner and shoot it in the bottom left-hand corner. And we could shoot the ball the same way with top left, only not as hard. Just lighten up on it and come around center table to shoot the 5 in the bottom left-hand corner and draw off a little bit lightly to tap into that 9 ball, and we'd be perfect on the 6 to get to the 7, to get to the 8, and get straight in on the 9 ball. That's the best way to do it. I did not think about it enough. I should have questioned myself because I knew getting from the 3 to the 5, just going 2 rails, was going to take a perfect shot. And I'll say it a million times, I am not perfect. You are not perfect. Efren is not perfect. Nobody's perfect. What these great players are doing that most of us are not doing is finding the easier way, thinking about things one more step, figuring out how to do things the easy way so they don't have to be perfect. But you know John, and you know you, and there's a valid reason that we're not out there beating Skylar Woodward. Here's what I do. Here's where I get. And yep, it's time to wake up John the shopmaker to get us out of this utter mess. Eek, Philip. Alright, enough of that. If you guys, anybody out there saw that blatant mistake in the first run through, then congratulations to you. You are thinking correct. So let's take it from the 5 and just do what we can with where we're at. And this graphic makes this look a little bit difficult, but it's not as bad as it looks. We can cut this in the side and go to the right hand side rail. And this is a real tester because it's real easy to get behind either the 9 or the 8. And even if we get right, it's going to be a little difficult to shoot the 6 ball all the way up in the top right hand corner, but that should leave us pretty good on the 7. And on the 7, we're just going to go down to the top rail and just get center table and try to get straight in on the 8 ball. I think we have a tiny little bit of an angle on the 8, but I salvaged it. I did good, and I'm great on the 9 ball, not exactly straight in, but after all that, that's the best you can ask for. Just keep a straight stroke and stay down. Everything will be okay. So the 3 to the 5 was the big mistake in that rack, and hopefully you caught it. Let's go ahead and watch the whole thing.